As our hot, humid weather continues, FOX23 Meteorologist Mikayla Smith takes a closer look at what's used to measure how our bodies handle the heat.
We're starting to see those temperatures rise as we head into the weekend, and we usually start to talk more about the heat index this time of year. You've probably heard us mention it a lot over the last several days. The heat index, though, is kind of limited because it only takes into account how hot and how humid it is. So it's just pulling the actual temperature outside and then whatever the dew point is. There's a lot of things that the heat index doesn't account for. It's not going to be measured in the sun, so being in the shade versus the sunshine does have a difference in effect of your body. It's not going to take into effect also the use of wind, or if there's any cloud cover, or even just the angle of the sun. If it's directly overhead, or if it's a little bit earlier on in the day or a little bit later in the day, those all have impacts still to your body. So what we use instead, and it's kind of a better idea of how your body's actually handling the heat, is going to be something called the wet bulb globe temperature. That accounts for the temperature actually outside plus the dew point, which is what we talk about with the heat index. But then it also takes into effect the wind speed. If things are a little bit stronger one day, those breezy conditions are maybe 20 to 25 miles per hour, your body's not going to feel maybe as hot as it would be on days that the winds are only 5 miles per hour. It also does take into effect, again, that cloud cover. If you have a little bit more cloud some days, that's obviously going to help you a little bit. And then that sun angle too also plays into effect with the wet bulb globe temperature. So a better chart to kind of see breaks that you might need per hour of work that you are outside would be a little bit something like this. Tomorrow's on a day that we're expecting that wet bulb globe temperature to be in that kind of 89 range. So that puts you in the high category, which means you would need about 40 minutes of a break. Again, if you're going to be outside for a whole hour being in the sunshine, we're going to see a lot of sunshine tomorrow, and those are kind of the impacts that your body would start to feel. And as we get a little bit further on into the summer, mid-July, late July, heading into August, heat strokes do become more of a factor because people don't listen to their body. So that's why it's a better idea to kind of listen to that wet bulb globe temperature instead of just the heat index that you often hear us talk about in the afternoon. And remember, on a day like tomorrow, make sure you're taking those breaks and drinking plenty of water. And if you feel like your body starts to overheat, go ahead and just take that break in the shade.